Okay, another use case here. So thank you for joining. My name is Eric Rudin. I'm Field CTO for cPacket. I'm joined with Ron DeVoe, who is our CTO. And today we're going to talk about NOC SOC Convergence and auditing. This is a very interesting topic for a lot of our customers. I think it's pretty clear today that security is one of the biggest top of mind issues for any organization. Anybody running customer data, healthcare, obviously, there's compliance requirements, financial services. There's a lot of different impacts if a customer gets hacked or if they're starting to have internal challenges related to malware or whatever use case it could be. The network provides insights to help surface up those issues. And this is really important. This is what we talked about in Security Field Day, is this is a form of augmentation, right? Packets serve multiple functions. They can feed our ecosystem with packet data streamed into an IDS or an NDR solution to surface up vulnerabilities. It could be for SIEM, for surfacing up correlated events. So packets serve that function, but we also get session-based metrics that also indicate things, and then we're able to use the AI to also surface up security issues from the network data. So Ron's going to walk you through a couple examples of how this works, how the two products and the two teams really are starting to function together to improve the security posture for the organization.
Thank you. Yeah, so what we wanted to say here, and again, we're going to do some of this quickly. The idea is we went to the Security Field Day and tell the security people, hey, you should talk to the networking people. They have a lot of information that you can actually leverage. So we want to tell the networking people have a lot of information that you can leverage, go back to the security team and make the security posture of the organization better, right? So part of that is about, we work with many enterprises in the space of financial services and hospitals, and there are very strict regulations there, right? Whether HIPAA or FSI, and you can think about the information that we have here, and it wasn't intended to be read, but the idea is that if you take each one of these regulations, you can break it down to say, okay, here's the information that you can get from the network, from your observability solution, right? So we'll go for, we'll show an example in a second. And the idea is, again, like, can I take my information that is there and create either a dashboard or create some information or a report that is driven from the network observability solution that can be fed into the security tools. So technically, what we're going to show a lot of that is we have our own DPI engine, deep packet inspection. So we look on every single session. We extract the DNS queries. We extract all the HTTPS queries. These are, even when most of the networks run fully encrypted, there's a huge amount of very relevant information that is still can be viewed, is still in plain text, right? Which domains you're accessing, making sure that your LDAP servers actually use encryption. The TLS certificates, did they expire or not? So all of that is done inside our packet capture and analytics engine. So if I go for a demo. Yeah, go ahead.
So for this use case and the previous use cases, do we need any additional infrastructure, or the infrastructure that you normally have in your design takes care of it?
It's there. That's part of the offering.
No additional servers or anything.
Yeah, it's all that. So actually, this one is another interesting one. So what this one we did is we asked the LLM engine to say, what are the relevant HIPAA regulations to the information we have? And can you create a dashboard on Grafana that has that? So this dashboard was completely created by Grafana's MCP with our prompts. So this is kind of another part of the answer to your question, right? Because I think the idea is the reason we do want to get the chat all the way to the user. In the foreseeable future, there are going to be use cases that we are not aware of. But if you give them enough tools, you don't need to know anything about Grafana beyond telling it when it doesn't get it right, you didn't get it right. So it will figure it out at the end, right? So you can create on your own the report that you care about, right? So this is just one way to show the relevant information to HIPAA. there are many other critical things that run in your network, whether it's LDAP and you want to make sure that people are using under encrypted infrastructure and are not using simple access, TLS security, making sure that certificates are there, that people don't, that no server is going down to 1.2 or 1.1 or below, that the cipher suites are what is relevant. So all this information is coming in from our tools. Or another one is all the domains that people accessed over the last 24 hours.
I have a question though. I think that's cool, right? So I think these things are all useful. I think back so for HIPAA compliance or even PCI compliance, there is the concept of sort of topology, segmentation,
yes,
all these elements.
Yeah.
So the not the danger, but like the convenience is it plots these kind of graphs, kind of cool, right? And you feel good about it, but it actually didn't address the actual compliance. You know what I'm saying? Like say it's PCI compliance, right? Without the topology, without knowing what applications are running where, and which are your POS, where's your data, that nice graph and image actually doesn't tell you your state of compliance, right? So how do you see getting there? How do you tell the LLM in a way that says, for PCI compliance, go look at the topology, find the data sources, find it, and all that. After that, walk through it, and then using cPacket, figure out whether there are probes in the right places or not. And then according to PCI compliance, section blah, 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 1.3.1, we need to verify this. Then we need to verify that. And so out of all these things, I validated that we can check these things with certainty, and that's in your dashboard. There are these 50 things that we can't check, or I don't know how to check, that you need to validate before you know that you're compliant. How do you see us sort of getting to that stage?
Yeah, I think so I'm the last one that will say that AI is ready to replace us.
Yeah, I agree. I think we all agree. We all know sort of where it is, right? And these are indications of the possibilities, which is I think why we're all excited.
Right.
I think what I'm trying to understand is you guys think about this more than maybe I do, right? Yeah. And so I'm just trying to understand when you look at these things, how do you think about getting there, right? What's the path, and what do you hope to happen, right, from a capability standpoint to get you there?
Right. So the way that it's all about the workflow, right? The workflow starts with someone that understands HIPAA, right? I'm not necessarily understand HIPAA, right? And say, okay, that's how it translates. Then you say, okay, what of all these sections you can actually help me with, right? And if, for example, you say, I want to make sure that there is right segmentation, that's something that an observability solution can help you, right? Because we have, so there is when we deploy, we don't have context to what a physical monitoring point is, but the user does. So all this metadata, or what they call RAG, right, access, is part of what you can give us. And then you say, instead of asking VLAN 11 to VLAN 12, you can ask, am I seeing any traffic between HR and finance? So there is an enrichment phase that will have to go in. And if you think about the circle that Eric showed, there is a deployment. And yes, someone, our customer, or if we outsource it to someone, will have to enrich it with the relevant data.
Yeah, if I could just add some additional context to that. There's a lot of products, like most organizations run multiple tools.
Right.
Those tools rely on process. They run on other types of rules that based on compliance, but they're all dependent on data.
Right.
And so I think our philosophy is we need to be getting the data at the time that it's requested. It needs to be enriched with context. And then we need to have surface it up to the right person at the right time.
Right.
But we're not necessarily the top of the stack doing all the regulatory compliance checks.
Right.
But the data that we're providing will serve a lot of functions.
Got it.
Okay, so we'll see how fast. I think we're running behind time. But the idea here is really where you want to go to is show me all the suspicious domains. And the way that tool is already, so if you remember what I showed you just before we left is, I can generate a report with all the domains, right? But that's a lot of chaff, right? How to figure out the wheat. So here, the tool does know that, okay, it's going to go through all the domains that we have, make sure that it removes everything that is cPacket, make sure that it removes everything that is a CDN or any cloud provider. So it cleans up everything that is kind of, and it's going to run for a little more than we have, but so I can just show you the results. And he's going to run, check that the domain names are, check if the domain name looks like a DGA, like if the domain name came from Iran or somewhere else. And he comes up with, okay, here's 5 that I think are suspicious, right? So that's the idea, right? So as you go through the same use case over and over, you can get into, okay, here's what the definition is. Part of that is universal. Part of that will have to be in the context of the user.
And do you have the option to drill down into that stuff from your dashboard? Like,
oh, the dashboard?
Yeah. So I see this pie chart. Can I click on that and kind of drill into it and get more details? But then I also have the option to go to my chat and say, I don't want to click through this stuff. Just tell me what it is.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
So again, in the previous one, we showed the workflow. So yes, there were links there. So when I click link, I can see all the details for that server. So we have both, right? So today, what users are using out in the field is more of the dashboard access, right? So we have to prepare the dashboard, and I think what we are showing is like, well, it can evolve, right? With AI, MCPs, these things they can generate on their own, and they can go back and forth. And I technically go back and forth between them when I investigate something today.
Okay, and where I was kind of going with that is it's great to have all of this information. It's a ton of very useful information. Sometimes it's a lot to look through though, and you want to kind of just focus on a specific area. And okay, that is the area I want to go. Let me double click and let me look at this. And okay, now that's what I wanted to see right there.
Yes.
Okay.
That's absolutely the problem we're seeing, that we have huge amount. So there's huge amount of data. There's huge amount of information.
Yeah.
How do you figure out the handful of things that you can actually do something about?
Right. It's fantastic to have all that data in the first place. But sometimes it's, the whole less is more thing where it's like, okay, but I can't focus on all that data, which is obviously what the tool is helping us with. So,
exactly.
Yep.
Very good. Thank you.
Totally.
All right. Great. Thank you for that demo. So just to summarize, I think what we're really kind of getting here is this consistency theme of making sure that you're getting the right data to the right person or to the right tool. And a lot of organizations have SOC tools or SOC teams. They need those network insights, and they already have processes and workflows that we can tap into. They have other technologies that need those information at real time in order to secure the enterprise. The other thing is those reports are really essential. And so what we're doing is we're getting more insights automatically through the prompts. And now we're taking the native data that it has, if it's understanding of a compliance protocol, and then surfacing that up to the user. Integrating that from a real-time perspective, obviously that gets to the SIM, that gets to the SOC, that's how they operate. So those anomalies and the other types of alerts coming from cPacket to inform normal processes that happen on the back end.